So we're back in the Chofetz Chaim, a lesson a day. So this section over here, Sefer Chofetz Chaim, this section is called relative statements. So certain statements are lashon hara when said regarding one person, yet are perfectly acceptable when said regarding someone else. For example, to say that a businessman studies Torah 5 hours a day is obviously not derogatory. However, to say this of a kollel member who is assumed to be spending his entire day engrossed in Torah study would be derogatory. Similarly, it would be forbidden to relate the amount of tzedakah given by an individual, if that amount is considered respectable only for a man of lesser means. There may be factors which would prohibit relating such information even when it is clearly complimentary. For example, people who give charity generously often do not want that fact to become public knowledge. It says in the column here, if a person is not knowledgeable of the laws of a given prohibition, then no amount of musar will help him. If a person is not knowledgeable of the laws of a given prohibition, then no amount of musar, no amount of ethical teaching will help him. Okay, so the section says Sefer Shmirat Halashon. This is a different work that he has. This section is called the imperative of halakhic study. So, knowledge of the Agadic teachings regarding Lashon Hara must be complemented by the study of the laws of proper speech. In the words of Midrash Mishlei, chapter 1, verse 2, quote, to know wisdom in Musar, so inspirational, ethical instruction is Musar. This is Mishlei, that's Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 2. If one has wisdom, that is knowledge of halacha, then he can study Musar. But if he lacks wisdom, then he cannot study Musar. The Midrash's intent is clear. If a person is not knowledgeable in the laws of a given topic, then no amount of Musar will help him. For example, if a businessman thinks that a given practice is not robbery, when in fact it is, then what good will it do to inform him of the severity of the sin of robbery? The same applies to all other negative commandments. Therefore, one must study the Torah's laws to know what is permitted and what is forbidden, and he must also learn the Musar teachings, which inspire a person to fear Hashem. Through study of such teachings, one arouses his soul toward observance of Torah, aside from fulfilling the positive commandment, quote, fear Hashem your God, Deuteronomy 10, verse 20. And so it is with regard to Shmirat Halashon, regarding your speech. Of what benefit will all the Musar in the world be? If one convinces himself that a given forbidden statement is not in the category of Lashon Hara, or if he tells himself that the laws of Lashon Hara do not apply when speaking of a certain individual, when in fact they do. Therefore, it is imperative that one know what is and what is not in the category of Lashon Hara according to Halacha. This study should be complemented by an inspirational study of the relevant Agadic teachings.